Welcome to Checkered Shorts, your quick stop for all things IndyCar. From race recaps and driver drama to bold takes and under-the-radar stories, we bring you the speed, strategy, and spectacle in a bite-sized form. Buckle up. Let's go racing. Hey, hello, welcome back. Checkered Shorts episode number 68. With all episodes, we always start with a history lesson, so we're going to head on over to Mr. Dinwiddie for today's history lesson for the number 68.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it real short because I know we've got a guest here in waiting. But back to 68, I'm going to go back to the 1968 Indianapolis 500, won by Bobby Unser. It was the first Unser, the Unser family of New Mexico. It was the first Unser victory at IMS. It was the first of 9 total, if you count Bobby's, Al Sr. and Al Jr. So an impressive family of racers, but especially there at IMS. Bobby won 3. This was his first one. It was also the first turbocharged engine to win the 500. So just a couple little tidbits there about number 68 and the 68 500.
I mean, definitely one of the best families to ever dawn in racing in general.
Yeah, I would say Andretti and Unser, probably, and Vukovic obviously had 3 generations, but not to the level that those 2 families were.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I did not know that was the first. That's the first Unser win, then, right?
Yes, it was.
Nice.
So, Pat, we're going to let you do the grand introductions.
Yes,
you are our connection to Mr. Will.
An introduction that I'm not really prepared for. Just this is kind of just off the cuff. Will Plummer is our guest. He's a good friend of mine. I'll let him introduce himself, but how he's attached to IndyCar and what he does. But Will and I met for CrossFit. He actually helped get me a little bit skinnier in my day a few years ago, and I've become good friends since then. But so that's how I know Will. We still stay close on a group text, just chit-chatting about trying to stay fit, and he's way fitter than I am. But yeah, Will, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it. We've hinted at him a handful of times of somebody we know in the industry behind the scenes of IndyCar. But Will, thank you again. Tell us a little bit about what you do for the IndyCar sport and who, et cetera.
Yeah, of course. Pat, first off, thanks for the introduction. When you first started talking about starting a podcast, I figured I would be on the short list for guests here, but 67 episodes in, and then I get the call. But no, thank you so much for bringing me on. I'm stoked to be here, and I'm just impressed with you guys for sticking it out this long and being so consistent as you guys have been. And 67 episodes is insane. So congrats, that's awesome.
Thanks.
A little bit about me. My full-time job is I'm the human performance trainer at Chip Ganassi Racing. So my primary responsibilities are the fitness, nutrition, recovery of our crew, but then also just our employees as a whole. So on a day-to-day basis, I work with our pit crews of those that are going over the wall, that are supporting behind the wall. But then also I have a shop-based group, right, where our carbon shop guys are getting workouts in, machine shop. I have an engineering group, right? Pretty much for those that are over the wall doing pit stops, workouts are mandatory, training's mandatory. And then for, everyone else in the company, it's an optional benefit that they can get to choose and take to better themselves and better their health. And it's paid for on company time. Chip encourages it, right? It's not like you're not looked down upon if you take 45 minutes to go work out. It's encouraged, right? The facility's in-house. We bring in athletic training, chiropractic care. We're trying to cover and tackle the human performance thing on all fronts, and do anything that we can to gain an edge when it comes to winning races on track.
Well, it's working.
Right.
It's paying off. You
Yeah.
got your performance is top notch, so you got to feel great about having some hand in that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I kind of fell into it. I started out as an intern, right? That's where Pat knows me, but like, I don't think he knew more about Chip Ganassi racing than I did when I started my internship, just being an IndyCar. He's grown up here being an IndyCar fan. I couldn't tell you the difference between IndyCar, NASCAR, F1 when I started. And I walked in the first day, and what kind of stuck out to me initially when you walk into CGR is the lobby. It's the trophies that line the walls, right? Like there are trophies on trophies, and those are just the first place ones when you walk in, right? All the other ones are scattered miscellaneous throughout the building,
like behind
the closet, break room, right? Like it's on top of, poles or sitting on top of desks. It's like the winning culture in the building. It's like you can almost smell it. Yeah.
That kind of leads me to one of the things I did write down, which is I don't need any industry secrets. You don't want to show your hand. Obviously, whatever's going on at Chip Ganassi is working.
Yeah, I will.
You want to protect that stuff. But what's the mindset of a team, specifically like the number 10 team, Chip Ganassi as a whole? It seems like the details, perfection, flawless. We have a shit pit of the week every week. You never see number 10 on that list. He's never even not an honorable mention. Chip Ganassi just seems like, and then obviously Dixon's crew is known for their efficiency.
Yeah. I mean, I think the culture kind of stems. We have two goals as a company: win the Indianapolis 500 and win the championship. Those are it, right? There's no follow on. There's no sub goals. Those are the two goals that we have, and it's in that order. And everyone in the shop, they're thinking about that, right? Everyone has, from the people that, go on the road to those that never leave the shop, right? They're all winners, right? And a big thing that I try to do and make an effort of those that aren't on the road and they don't get to experience the, going to victory lane, right? Or our crews that aren't going to victory lane every weekend, giving them a fist bump and saying congrats, because it's a team effort. When you're in the shit, right? If a car wrecks or crashes in practice or whatever, there's no, I'm the 8 car, I'm not going to help you fix your car, or I'm the 10 car, I'm not going to help you work on the 9 car, right? They all work together. They're all sticking it out. We're kind of living the same life essentially for, 17, now 18 weekends a year on the road. So I think what separates is it's all the little details, right? Of, for me, I look at it as, with my job handling the workouts, nutrition and other stuff, that's an afterthought some of the times, right? When it comes to, if you have, it doesn't matter how fit your pit crew is, if the race car isn't on track, loaded up in the hauler. So that's going to be what's pushed back, right, before working on the car. So when I do get the time in season, or when we are in the off season and I get a ton of time with them, I have to make the most of it, and trying to be really intentional about what we're doing, and thinking about their fitness, not just of what makes them, faster at doing a pit stop, but making sure that they're well-rounded so that they can work a grueling 3-4 day weekend around the paddock in the sweaty garages, and then still be primed, ready to go to pit the race car anywhere from 2 to the Indianapolis 500 5 times.
I think it's super cool, all of those points. I think it's cool that Chip is investing from, obviously the most fit guy on the team to a Mike Hall, Dixon's strategist that can come in there and ask you for advice, or you can give him a 20-minute workout. Type of thing. So it's, the older folks that might want, to stay in shape, or like I said, the linemen that a lot of people know they're in the industry because of, the big burly guys need to carry those tires and gas. So I think that's pretty cool that Chip is investing, not in you, but just the whole team as a mindset of moving forward.
Yeah.
I think that I would jump in there too and say, you know, what you just talked about with fitness and nutrition. I won't throw out the name of the other team, but the three of us actually witnessed one of the IndyCar crews sitting at a
Yeah.
Taco Bell 3 hours before a race. I'm guessing that we're not going to find any of Chip's guys hanging out at McDonald's loading up with some grease before they head into the track. So well done to you to, you know, you're educating those guys along the way.
You know, that's one of the harder things when it comes to working, and it's as you grow a relationship with someone, right? As a trainer, the first thing, you know, probably the biggest needle mover is what you're putting in your mouth, right? Or what you're not putting in your mouth. But it's oftentimes not the first thing that I'm going to attack, right?
Sure.
Movement and working out is a lot easier to get people to start doing something, right, than changing what they're eating, which it's almost like a religious type thing, right? Our like fascination with food and the way we eat, it's so habitual, and it's based on, right, like on the road it's tough, right? Like I'm not perfect, right? I know my guys aren't perfect. It's just trying to help them make better decisions, or me being the one that, right, like if I have to food shame them a little bit, right, and rag on them for grabbing a soda, I'm going to do that, right? And I've gotten to the point where I can do that with, you know, some of those guys, and they might be like, yeah, like, okay, cool. Or, you know, it sticks eventually after a while, or when they want to make a change, then they come to me and stuff. But yeah, they definitely, everyone has their own way of preparing for race day. Some guys, you know, they don't want to eat at all, right? And that's where I come in, and I'm like, you need to eat something, right? Like we have, you know, a tire changer who he'll go into the season and he's 175 pounds. And then by, you know, the end of Arlington, he is down to 155. And I'm like having to be mom and force peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, I can attest. I was a personal project for Will. It was I was overweight, out of shape, and he was just like, man, you just got to keep moving. And it, I mean, honestly, it was 3 years ago, maybe, right, Will?
Yeah.
So still doing it today, and so it resonates with me. You don't have to be Hulk Hogan or Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything like that. But I believe in Will and what he's doing with that Chip Ganassi racing team, from the top to the bottom, to the receptionist, to Chip, to, you know, the race car drivers. It's working what he's doing.
Yeah, so, you know, you had mentioned Victory Lane. Well, last race, I spotted someone getting some major screen time on Victory Lane.
Yeah. You know, I try to, like, I get ragged on that I'm looking for the camera, but I swear it just looks for me. So I'm on race day right now, I'm a tire handler on the 10 car. So I hand the inside rear. I've been handing an inside rear, I guess, ever since I really started. So the first 2 years I was on Marcus
Kiffin.
Armstrong's car.
Kiffin. Didn't you go to Kiffin's there for a second?
I don't know if I ever actually handed for, maybe I did for a racer.
Maybe
I can't
you're
remember
there.
if I handed for Kiffin's car, but I was on the 11 car for my first 2 years, handing a rear. And then this past last year, I was on the 10 for the whole year. So that was just an experience in itself.
Oh my gosh.
Like I went from, you know, sniffing a podium the first 2 years to being in Victory Lane from the first weekend to, you know, essentially the last, and a lot of the ones in between. And it's super cool. And obviously, right, that's the fun part that everyone gets to see. After a while, like I don't know, like I had little like imposter syndrome, right? Like, oh, I'm just handing a tire, right? Oh, I just do, like, I don't deserve to, like, you have that, I don't deserve to be up here with the crew. But after you do it for long enough and you realize and you embrace that all the little things matter, you see the value in it, right? Like if you the best day as a tire handler, right? No one's gonna notice it, right?
Yeah.
Your worst day, you mess it up, right? And like if it's off a little bit, or God forbid you ever like handed the tire over the wrong direction, right? Like that, knock on wood, hasn't happened in a race, right? I haven't seen it happen, but I've seen it happen in a pit stop practice, right? When you're sitting there and you're like, hey, could you hand my tire for me? And they've never handed a tire before, and they're like, yeah, sure. And they hand it to you, the backside of the wheel well, and you're like, this is no good, right? Like, oh, I guess we got to tell you, and you laugh about it at practice, but in the race,
I mean,
the wrong set, right?
Right,
If it's, hey, we need set 8, right, and it's a last minute change in strategy, and you grab the wrong set and hand it over the wall, right, that can cost you it.
Well, we last year, example, I think it was Milwaukee last year that Connor Daly, for some reason they flipped the sides of the car and put the wrong tires on the wrong side, and he qualified in the back. And there's a guy who's really strong on short ovals, and so just the little details are so important.
I think to a testament of that, like I'll give him a shout out here. I think one of the most underappreciated by the media, or even sometimes the team itself, is our truck drivers in our transportation group, because a lot of them are our tire guys. They're the ones that are setting up, and then they're the guys that are setting up the pits. And there are all 3 of our fuelers right now are all truck drivers.
Wow.
So the amount of work that they do to set up the pits and put it all together and organize it after every session, right? Mechanics are horrible at putting things away. So they're the ones that are cleaning it up and getting everything tidy and rolling the hoses up and making sure it's all set and ready to go, and the guns are laid out, right? And all the little shit's right, so that other people can go out and do their job. And they're showing up 2 to 3 days before everyone else does. They're spending on, the summers, they don't get to see their family. They, like, if it's a stretch where it's on the road, the trucks, they don't get to fly home for 2 days and then fly out to the racetrack. Right. They're driving from Laguna to wherever the next one is. So they are a big part of doing all the little things right to help happens on track go smoothly, right? Making sure batteries are charged and fans are ready and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say this show is a testament to being remembered for your mistakes, because we have dogged some tire changers and jackmen on this show.
Not on your team.
No. Oh.
None of them.
Really?
Yeah.
No, never even had a whiff at our shit pit of the week. So
maybe not.
Good. And I'll say it's a testament to your prowess as a trainer. Kiffin Simpson has the thickest neck I've ever seen a helmet on top of.
I can't take credit for Kiffin's neck. I'll give credit where credit's due. That's Jim Leo over at Pit Fit. So a lot of our drivers, they work with their own guys and have their own people. So Kiffin's been at Pit Fit, I think, ever since he for a while, and he's done a ton of work with him. Drivers are amazing to work with.
But you'd like to take credit for that neck.
I would like to take credit for that neck. Yeah, he's got a thick neck. Puberty helps. Puberty's an amazing thing.
It's not just a punchline. When you're experiencing those G forces, the neck is hugely important on your driver.
Yeah, I've helped out with neck training a couple of times for some of them, and 1, they're picky, but 2, it's like you're yanking on it, right? Like you got an elastic band attached to their head, and they're like harder.
Wow.
Harder. And I'm like, I'm having to switch arms, right? And I'm pulling on it, putting my weight into it. Yeah.
Wow.
Just all the little details.
What is a thing that most drivers just would not recognize or goes overlooked in a broadcast, or even if you're there at the race?
So what is the thing that most drivers?
It just gets overlooked by the fan. Like the fan doesn't recognize it, doesn't see it. It's not visible on the broadcast. They don't talk about it, but it plays a major role in what's going to happen in the outcome of the race.
I guess the amount of work that's gone into, like, obviously there's the work that's building the car at the shop and getting it all together, and all the preparation of pit stop practice, like leading up to the race and in the off season and the work done there. But like on a race weekend, they are working, anywhere from an 8 to, it could be a long 14-hour day, right? 2 to 3 of those. And then on race day, you show up, they get the car. If it's an oval, right, you show up and you race, right? If it's a street and a road course, you do a warm up in the morning, then they set the car back up. You got to go through tech, right? And then you race, right? But we're in the midst of all that, right? On race day, once the cars roll off the pad, there's about an hour to an hour and a half gap where you can tear down the tent and get all the stuff put away that you need to load up and leave after the race is done and everyone gets to go home earlier. So I think one of the things that I know the fans aren't looking at, but like we're about halfway, 3/4 of the way loaded up before the race even starts, ready to get out of there and recover for the next race, right? And some of the other teams, they haven't even taken down the tent poles yet, right? And our tent's down, floors are up, right? The boxes are just sitting waiting for the cars to come back and do what they need to do to set down before they load them in the truck, right?
Cool.
Because after the race, we're worried about how quickly can we get off pit lane and get all that stuff tore down and loaded up in the haulers. So like there's like an hour mad dash that some of the crew is doing before the race even starts to like put all the stuff away. You're grabbing poles, you're pulling the cover, right? Like it's an hour and a half of manual labor before they go do, the most important thing of the weekend for them, which is
and that's sometimes I don't think people understand when you see a competitor crash in practice or the reaction. I mean, I felt Scott McLaughlin squatting in the infield of turn 1 from that parade lap from the 500 last year. You could just feel, it was just like, oh my God, what he has to be feeling. Because like you said, your all's goal's Indy 500 number 1, championship number 2. That's probably how a lot of teams look at it. And to not even run one lap, I could feel it from the stands of 450,000 people, what he was feeling.
We were out celebrating that day in Speedway, and we didn't have time to change our shirts. So we were in our yellow DHL shirts. Probably not a great thing, but the day it didn't really matter. It didn't really matter then. And this dude came up to us and he's like, "Are you the Scotty McLaughlin Pennzoil crew?" He's just hammered. And like, no, we're the 10 car Alex Pillow. And he's like, and then his eyes got all wide. He's like, oh, he's like, you guys won, like he's like realized, oh, you guys won the thing. He's like, I came all the way. He's like, I came all the way from New Zealand to see Scotty McLaughlin crash on the first lap. So he was a little bit,
well, he was in his feels too then.
But then it was awesome. He ended up he traded shirts with one of our crew guys, and it was a whole thing. I'll show you guys the picture eventually, but it was a really fun moment that I'll remember from that night forever.
Sure. What I got a question. What's your favorite track outside of Indy to visit, to go to? For whatever reason. It's cleanest, it's the prettiest, it's the most fun for the crew, whatever.
Could I give you a couple?
Yeah, go for it. I think it'd be behind the scenes.
I mean, the easy one, like that everyone likes, is Monterey, right? Going out to Laguna Seca. One, it's a cool track, but you staying in Monterey Bay, which is just gorgeous, especially in September. Like when you've gone from not saying Mid-Ohio isn't the best track, but the food and everything around it, right? The stuff you can do, you can go grab e-bikes and ride down 17-mile road when you're in Monterey. For me, there's, the CrossFit Ranch is there, so I can go drop in and right. Like there's all sorts of stuff. but I like close here. My favorite one in the Midwest is probably Road America.
Cool.
Super cool track. I love. It reminds me of growing up to when I'm from Minnesota, so I'd go to my cabin in Wisconsin. So it reminds me of those type towns, right? Just those small Midwest towns. Good food, good people, good bar food, right? Like all fast throughout the day, so I can go eat cheese curds and have a couple of spotted cows, Thursday and Friday night, because it's just so good out there. Those two are like my favorite that I always say when it comes to mind. Arlington was really, really cool this year. That was a cool setup. They had us in the Lowe's Hotel, which was right next to the track, essentially like touching that whole stadium complex.
Oh, cool.
And so like it was a walk. It was like a mile walk, give or take, to the paddock itself. But that whole event this year was awesome.
Okay,
You
one
could
more.
you could tell that in the driver interviews. They were excited about that race in Arlington.
Yeah.
One more before we let you go, and I know you got to go. So we talk about Fox, and I think as fans can see the draw that Fox is bringing as population and people and getting more fans, more clicks, more views. Is that something like you as on a crew see that? Does the team see this as like, is there more buzz about the sport of IndyCar? You guys sense this? If not, no big deal, but I mean, there's more views on than ever than past 20 years as far as Fox and stuff like that. So I was curious to hear what you might have to say about it.
I mean, I definitely feel it, right? I've gone from, this is my 4th season. So the first 2 were where it was Peacock, NBC.
Good point.
And I feel like the coverage and promotion leading up to it, right? Like 100 Days to Indy was cool, but the first 2 years it was in 2 different places, right? And it's on, the CW network.
CW.
I don't even remember where it was on the second year, right? And they got one of the seasons on Netflix, but the other one isn't, right? But Fox, right? Everyone knows what Fox is. And it's on, we're not on FS1, right? The practices and stuff are, and qualifying, that's fine. But the race is on Fox. I definitely think Fox and having NASCAR also is good for the sport, right? Like we have those, the doubleheader weekend in St. Pete and Phoenix, right? Where Phoenix, we were the lead up show for then the Cup Series race on Sunday. And it's a little bit more of a hassle for us because we got to move the pits and you got to make room and everyone's got to play nice. But I think it's good for the series. And I think it is definitely positive for the viewers. And I think we're getting more buzz. I guess where it'll be the true kind of like May is May regardless.
Right.
But I think even more so this year, it'll be interesting to see how that feels, right? There's been a lot more cameras going around. Like I like the short little 12-minute, 15-minute clips that they've been doing. The mini docu-series, right? Like that's stuff that brings new people and new eyeballs to IndyCar, right? And the eyeballs that you need to get for IndyCar are the easy ones are, hey, convert people that are interested in F1 and like Drive to Survive, right? And say, hey, we got the same product here in the United States. You can actually show up and go to one of these races and afford a ticket. And if you want to go to a cool one, right, you can pick a city that you haven't been to before, right? Like we go to a lot of different cities. I think, when they announced the Fox thing before it came in, the head of Fox Sports was in the shop, right? And I think he did a tour to a couple different shops, but he came to us and he talked to us and he answered our questions and took feedback and explained, some things to us of what they were going to do differently and how they were going to do it before it was out there. And it was cool to see that from the head of something. He doesn't need to do that, right? Sure. And I think they're going to do a lot of good. I think Fox had a big reason of why we're doing the DC race and made that happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And that is huge publicity thing, right?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as bad publicity. I think it would be silly for the series not to do it, because then someone else is just going to go do it, right? NASCAR is just going to go pick it up and go do a speed race in DC.
Literally.
So
right.
IndyCar gets to be the one that goes and does it, right? And we're going to be in the nation's capital on the 250th anniversary. And if you like it, awesome, right? You can show up and go for free. If you don't, you don't have to watch it. That's cool, right? I get it. Watch the other 17 races. I'm sure it's going to be, right, new course. Don't know. It might be a crash fest. Who knows, right?
Right.
But it'll be good for the series.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this has been very enjoyable. It's fun to hear different perspectives. We've done some other interviews. We're trying to build up to the Indy 500.
Hey, what are your predictions for Long Beach? Sorry, I just interrupted.
Oh, yeah. No, you're all good.
What are we thinking?
Kirkwood's going to be really hard to beat. Obviously, he's pretty dominant there. I want to see, Pelot's Pelot. We all know that. And then maybe a sneaky Dixon, man. He still knows how to wheel that thing. I think it's the competition's gotten stiffer, and that's why he's not in the top three right now. It's not that he's driving any worse, and that goes for a lot of those people. A sneaky Dixon in there for sure.
Obviously, Andretti has been strong on street courses, but I'll give a little Grid Rivals preview. I do have Dixon in my lineup, and I'm going to stick with that because I feel like it's time for Scott to bounce back. So, but yeah, I think Pat hit it on the head with those guys. And I know Kiffin's had some success on street courses, so maybe we can see something there. I'd love to see that, and I know he's not off to the start this season that he's wanted to be. Yeah,
it would be awesome to see the 8 or the 9 get a really good finish in Long Beach. And yeah, the expectation obviously for all of our cars is to finish towards the top of the pack every weekend. I'm curious if you think Graham's going to get back up there at all the rest of the season. We're going to have to wait for another.
I predicted my prediction before the season started that Graham Rahal was going to win the Freedom 250.
Oh, I did. I do remember that. That's a good pick. Yeah, I feel the odds are. I feel like it's going to be Kirkwood.
Yeah.
See, these guys pick with their.
If it's not any of our cars, right? I think it's going to be Alex Pelot. Every race, I think Alex is going to win.
Sure.
You and 90% of the rest of the world.
That's not biased. That's literally not biased. Everybody says that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's factual, but
sure, no, 100%.
But I that one I'm like, man, Alex, we gotta start doing some prep work before this, so we get so someone doesn't get a little extra push to pass.
Well, to your point, Alex doesn't know Arlington, and he doesn't know DC, so that
neither does anybody else.
Right, exactly. But that's not a fault, but a one up that another driver might have, because he's not dominant there because he's never raced there. Nobody has. So
now back to your last question, Will. I'm gonna say Graham is back and been competitive this year. I think he picks up a victory, but I think it's either at Indy Grand Prix or Mid Ohio
road course.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't want that one. I would not like. Maybe one of the back half ones. That would be cool.
So these guys pick with their head. I'm more of an emotional picker. There's some guys I want to see win just because I'm drawn to their personalities. Like I'd love to see Marcus Armstrong get his first win. The dude just is consistent as all get out. It seems like from top to bottom on his team, they just consistently perform and they finish consistently. But it'd be cool to see him just a podium even. And then I don't know why I really like Rosie. He just seems like a nice guy. And so I find myself during the course of races, even if he's not on my team, thinking, man, I'd like to see him perform well, go out and do well. Those guys might be longer shots than some others, than the favorites, but I would love to see either of those guys on a podium.
those two are. I can say okay, yes to the success of Meyer Shank. I'm good with that. That's
Sure.
that's
They're
our
not going to nip
partner
on your
team.
heels at the end of the season.
Huh?
They're not going to be nipping on the heels of the championship at the end of the season, so you can live with them having a little success.
Hopefully it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the goal, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
All Hondas.
Yeah.
There you go.
As long as there's no papaya up there, it's all right.
So I tell you how I became a Pato Award fan. So these guys said you got to pick a driver, and we went to Iowa's first race I've ever been to in person, and very, very novice. And so I picked Pato Award, and he won that day. So, and then I also thought I was going to go down there and be like, oh, this guy's representing the Irish. We got a driver from Ireland, Pato Award, and shocked to see that he was Mexican heritage, but I like him nonetheless. He's fun. It's fun to follow those guys. I know that there's always a little rub between teams to some degree, but I'm not a guy to jump ship. So that's who I picked. He won the first race, and I'm sticking with him for now.
Well, there you go. You're a man of your I don't know. Not man. I guess man of your word in a sense. You picked him. Yeah.
It's loyalty. Yeah.
It's loyalty. Yes. Yeah. All right.
Good. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
This has been awesome.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Will.
And who knows? Maybe sometime we'll get to arrange Indy 500 second-time champion post.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, that would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
I really hope so. That's what we're working towards.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, maybe we do that. We could do it in person too. That would be cool.
That'd be
yeah,
I love that. Well, let's guarantee it won't be 67 more episodes before we get you back on, Will. How's that?
Okay, I'm good with that. That's fine.
Okay.
Cool. I can't believe I'm on the 67th episode.
We really
as
wanted
the Gen
to
Zer, as the Gen Zer 267. That's crazy.
We wanted to hone in our skills.
Hey, were you guys all born in? Is this the 68th or the 67th episode?
68.
68. It doesn't matter, Will.
Okay.
We can reverse it. I mean,
when you said that fact about 1968, were you guys all alive then?
No, you know what? See, this is where the interview ends.
Okay, bye guys. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate it. Be good.
Hey, thanks for joining us on Checkered Shorts. Catch us next time for
the full circle. Sometime work out with me, Will. Okay.
All right, dude.
He'll punish you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.